Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's late, I'm running on zero sleep and way too much caffeine, but we need to talk about General Hospital. I just couldn't wait until morning to get these thoughts out. So, grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's dive into the absolute madness happening in Port Charles right now. Okay, so I've been thinking about this and my brain is just spinning in circles about Michael Corinthos. Here's what's bugging me. Michael has this grand plan to neutralize Willow, right? He's actively trying to set up a fake affair between his own wife and Harrison Chase. Like, he's paying Pie Lane to snap cozy photos of them. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out the psychology behind this because it is so deeply messed up. Wait, let me back up. Why is he doing this? It all comes down to the kids in custody and this sudden political power Willow has. But actually, no, first I should mention the Drew Kane situation. There are still people out there who genuinely think Michael's the one who shot Drew. The cops haven't charged him, but the rumor mill in Port Charles is vicious. Michael is paranoid. He's so paranoid that he thinks Willow is going to use this against him to take the kids. But then again, that doesn't explain why he has to drag Brooklyn into this. I mean, Brooklyn Quartermain is family, well, kind of. They are both Quartermains, but Michael's loyalty has always been this weird ping-pong game between the Corinthos side and the Quartermain side. Anyway, the point is, wait, what was the point? Oh, right, collateral damage. Michael's plan means Brooklyn's marriage to Chase is just going to be destroyed as a byproduct. And it's not just a normal Tuesday for Brooklyn and Chase. They are right in the middle of trying to adopt Phoebe. This is literally the worst possible time for a scandal. Any hint of impropriety, any rumor of Chase having an affair with Willow, and that adoption agency is going to snatch Phoebe away so fast. It's weird, like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. Why would Michael do this to his own cousin? I know Michael can be ruthless. He is Sonny's son after all, but destroying an adoption just to get leverage in a hypothetical custody battle. That is dark. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe Michael thinks he can control the narrative. Spoilers for Friday, May 30. Say Michael's going to caution Brooklyn. I can just see it now. He's going to go to her playing the concerned family member and be like, "Hey Brooklyn, I've noticed Chase and Willow spending a lot of time together. You might want to watch out." It's gaslighting 101. He's creating the trap and then warning her about the trap he built. Okay, I know I just said the opposite, but hear me out. What if Michael knows about the black BMW? Remember the whole thing with Curtis Ashford and Isaiah Gannon? Curtis is facing felony charges because he beat up Isaiah thinking Isaiah was the driver who fled the accident. But Tracy Quartermain had Brooklyn's black BMW detailed to cover up the damage. Brooklyn has been terrified and feeling incredibly tense. Especially when Portia came to the mansion asking for help. If Michael figured out that Brooklyn was involved in that crash, maybe he's using this Chase Willow cheating setup as a way to keep Brooklyn distracted. Or maybe he's using it as blackmail. I think it was episode 12 or 13, somewhere around there, where Michael started getting suspicious. About the car. Probably doesn't matter, but I noticed he was looking at Brooklyn a certain way. If he knows her secret, he might be thinking, well, her life is already a mess. What's one more scandal? What was I saying? Oh, right, Chase. Poor oblivious Harrison Chase. He's just pitching in on Detective Joe Fitzpatrick's investigation at the PCPD. By the way, Joe Fitzpatrick definitely has a hidden agenda, probably working for Ross Cullum and Jen Sidwell. But that's a whole another rabbit hole I shouldn't go down right now. But Chase is just trying to be a cop, a good husband, and a good friend to Willow. Michael is weaponizing Chase's inherent goodness. It makes me so mad, but from a storyline perspective, it's brilliant. I just hate watching Brooklyn become the victim here. She finally gets some happiness. They're moving forward with Phoebe, and boom, Michael drops a nuclear bomb on it. Anyway, let's shift gears because I am losing my mind over the Ethan Lovett situation. Since Ethan returned to town, he has just been going with the flow, which is very Ethan, but also kind of suspicious. He passed all his tests and has just been carrying out orders like a good little mob soldier. He was keeping an eye on Lucy. He was spying on Rick Lansing, who, by the way, is busy doting on Elizabeth after Britt locked her in a closet, which was hilarious, but also unhinged. And Ethan was even keeping Ava Jerome company in his car until Sonny gave the word to let her go. Basically, Ethan is Sonny's new Jason, but with an English accent and a lot more sarcasm. But now Ethan is about to accept a new mission. Sonny has a massive to-do list right now. So what is Ethan going to be asked to do? I have like 3 different theories, and I keep second-guessing myself constantly. Theory 1, tailing Ross Column and Jen Sidwell. Column is a monster, and his list of enemies is getting so long that the writers are clearly setting up a whodunit murder mystery for him. Column wrongly thinks Danny shot him, which is insane. And Sidwell is currently livid. He's making phone calls demanding that someone find Britt Westbourne and bring her back immediately. Sidwell is dangerous. If Ethan is tasked with tailing them, he's walking into a literal war zone. How dangerous will it be? Extremely. Like fatal plot dangerous. Actually, no, wait. Theory 2 makes more sense. What if Sonny asked Ethan to help Britt track down Britt and Rocco? Rocco is on the run with Britt. Dante and Lulu are having an absolute meltdown about it. Lulu was packing bags to go on the run herself, and Dante was like, "Over my dead body. Are you making my son on?" They even debated bringing the FBI in, especially after they got that video message from Rocco saying it was his idea to run. Sonny warned Dante and Lulu to sit tight and let him handle it. So, maybe handling it means sending Ethan to find them before Column or Sidwell's men do. Ethan is resourceful. He knows how to operate off the grid. It makes perfect sense. But wait, there's a third option that I completely forgot about. Ava and Alexis are in Manhattan digging into Delilah Wilson's past. Specifically, the Kyoko Art Gallery connections. Ethan is terrified about this. He was Delilah's partner in crime. If Ava keeps digging, she's going to bring old enemies to Port Charles and expose Ethan's connection. What if Ethan's new mission from Sonny somehow intersects with this art gallery mess? I mean, probably not. Sonny doesn't care about Kyoko's art, but it's a complication Ethan has to deal with while trying to execute Sonny's orders. It's a lot. Ethan's plate is too full and I feel like he's going to mess up. Okay, let me take a breath. My brain is jumping all over the place. Let's talk about the Davis girls for a second. Molly Lansing Davis. She recently had a heart-to-heart with her sister Christina. Christina just got accepted into medical school, which is amazing, but it's clearly setting up her exit from the show. I'm going to miss her, but whatever. The spoilers say Molly's going to offer wise counsel to someone. Who is she advising? Is it Trina? Trina is dealing with the fallout of Curtis assaulting Isaiah, and Ada Christine Turner is moving forward with the felony charges. Or maybe Molly is advising Brooklyn about the adoption legalities. I mean, Molly's a lawyer. If Michael's trap springs and Chase is accused of an affair, Brooklyn is going to need a lawyer to save the adoption. That would actually be a really good way to tie these storylines together. Look at me, doing the writers' jobs for them, or maybe I'm completely wrong. I usually am when I overthink this much. Let's pivot to Charlotte and Carly. This is a dynamic I didn't see coming, but I am actually really here for it. Charlotte opens up to Carly. Why Carly? Well, Charlotte has been through hell lately. She and Danny just broke into Windermere, which shocked the life out of Sidwell and Ava. Plus, she can't see her dad Valentin every day. But more importantly, she wants to talk about what's going on with Rocco and Danny. And Carly knows Danny's dad Jason better than literally anyone on the planet. I think Charlotte is feeling overwhelmed by the rebellious, dangerous paths Danny and Rocco are taking. Rocco is a fugitive. Danny's being hunted by Callum, who thinks he shot him. Charlotte is in the middle of this teenage crime wave, and Carly is the perfect person to talk to. Because Carly has spent her entire life loving men who live on the wrong side of the law. I can totally see Carly giving Charlotte this very intense, very Carly-esque speech about loyalty and danger. Listen to me, Charlotte. When you love a Morgan or falconry, you have to be tough. You know exactly the tone she'll use. But it's sweet. Charlotte needs a maternal figure who doesn't sugarcoat things. And Carly needs a distraction from her own messy love life. Which brings me to my final obsession of the night, Valentin and Carly. Okay, I know I just said the opposite a few weeks ago. I was like, they are toxic. They need to end. But hear me out. I kind of love them together. It's a slow burn enemies to lovers chaotic energy that I am just eating up. But they've had some massive clashes recently. And it's not just petty stuff. It involves life and death situations and some really in-depth emotions. Carly was furious because she wanted to know the truth about Valentin's feelings for Anna. He was literally this close too. Leaving town and flying off to France to rescue his ex. Like, Carly has every right to be insecure and pissed off about that. You don't just pack a bag for France to save your ex unless there are still some major lingering feelings there. While they argue hard, and I mean hard, Valentin hasn't given up on them as a couple. He is persistent. I'll give him that. The spoilers say he's going to make a romantic gesture. What is it going to be? Will he cook for her again? I swear, Valentine's love language is just making elaborate French meals whenever he messes up. Sorry, I almost abandoned you for Anna. Here's a perfectly seared duck confit. It's hilarious. But more importantly, how will Carly respond? Carly is stubborn. She doesn't forgive easily, especially when she feels like she's second best. She spent years sharing Sunny with the mob. She's not going to share Valentine with Anna's ghost. But then again, Valentine knows how to charm her. He knows how to push her buttons in a way that turns anger into passion. I think she's going to resist at first. Maybe throw a glass of wine in his face because it's Carly, but eventually she'll cave. The chemistry is just too good. Or maybe she won't. Maybe she'll tell him to take his romantic gesture and shove it. I don't know. That's why I stay up until 3:00 a.m. analyzing this show. Wait, let me circle back to Michael for a second because something just hit me. If Michael's plan works and Willow loses her political power and the kids, what does Michael actually win? A broken family? He's so blinded by his paranoia about the Drew shooting that he's becoming exactly like the people he hates. He's acting like a mob boss.